Now we're going to see how to load bales using a telehandler. And as you can see, we're using a different telehandler this time. It's just to show you that once you know the theory, it's pretty much just finding the reference points for the specific vehicle you're using. And the more you use it, the more you do, the better you will become. And even if it's the first time you're using a vehicle, not necessarily a telehandler, because the reference point applies to all the different types of vehicles. And here also I have a different loader compared to the previous trailer we were using to stack the big bags. So here there are many different ways, of stacking bales. It all depends on which method you prefer to use. Now some people, especially if the field is quite big, you might want to come with one of those things, a bale loader. Where is one of those guys here that will automatically collect the bales for you? But if you are getting that one, for example, it can carry up to 14 bales. It's better to kind of take it to the place you will be stocking them, because otherwise you need to purchase it at 90,000 euros. Come first, use this, and then come with your telehandler and bale trailer or whatever. So unless you are stacking them so that somebody else comes and load the bales on a trailer, then this kind of stuff is useful. Otherwise, if you are working like I do on a small to medium farm, it's better if I do everything on my own. Now, of course, I don't teleport, so here is just a setup. It's just a setup to kind of explain to you the bale loading process, same as the previous videos and the future trading videos too. Just a setup. But when I'm actually farming, of course, since I drive alone without any human, helper, I will show you once I get into the actual playthroughs. Here it's just tutorials, how I do it on my own, realistically, without teleporting from one vehicle to another. So let's get to the subject at hand today. We are going to be using that special bale grabber. Okay, and it comes with, let me show you where you can get it. You, of course, select tools, telehandler tools. I believe it's available for different equipment too. So it's the straw harvest pack mod. Okay, you have also this model, but I'm using this one here. And of course you can choose the color. Make sure the attach type is telehandler when you're buying one. I already bought mine, and you're good to go. Now how it works. First, when attaching it, unlike the other tools, so let's just get the engine started. Okay, we're already in forward drive. So here, release parking brake. To attach it, it's like you just press the attach button, no need to get outside. But in order to operate it, you will need to attach the lines, the hoses or whatever it's called. Let me see if it works. Okay, it won't. So here you kind of connect the lines. You press the you see, connect, disconnect. So to unmount, you kind of, here it's connected. You come, you disconnect, then you get inside your vehicle. Make sure to lower the tool first, and then you disconnect. Okay. So here we're going to work with this. So let's connect the hoses and everything, and then I will show you how it works. So same thing, it's still a telehandler, it's just the tool that has changed. You see, let me probably, just for the sake of explanation, switch to third person view. Okay, same, tilt forward, tilt backward, and then all the other usual telehandler operation you would expect. Now you see those two, now let me get outside. Those forks here is what's gonna get inside the, in this case, the bottom bale you want to pick. Like for example, if you want to pick only those two, this is where you will kind of insert the I believe they are called forks. Okay, and then you've got those grabbers. Okay, those grabbers. Now the only way I can kind of find something like if I want to point at something is I've turned super strength on, but just for demonstration purposes. Of course I don't play with super strength on. It's just to make the video simpler, because if I turn it off, I believe it's on or off. If I turn it off, I have no way to kind of show you to point at you specific things, so it's only for this purpose. I of course don't use any kind of unrealistic cheats during actual playthrough. So you have to kind of be in contact with a bale, at least one bale, for it to work, and I will show you how it operates. That's one thing. And second thing, as you can see, I'm picking them in groups of 3. Once again, you could pick them in groups of 4. I don't know how much this trailer can handle. It's also based on the tractor you're going to pull the trailer with, and usually it's going to, in my case, it's going to be the telehandler itself which usually pulls. Here, like I said, it's just a setup. So how do I arrange them in groups of 3 like this? Of course, here also it's a setup, and here also the bales won't be as close to one another as here. That's just to demonstrate how I stack them into groups of 3. Let's get inside. So same thing here. You just find your reference point, the center. So here, this is the middle of the tool. So here it drops. It's not as convenient as the New Holland, but if it drops, it's just like here. Okay, a little bit where the wheel intersects with the kind of meet the dashboard, but a little bit more to the left. Okay, so at least you have a reference point, and make sure your tool is vertical, and same thing here, traveling and everything you lift, the same thing as we've covered before. So there's a bale over there, so let's just make sure we don't hit anything. Put in reverse. I'm going to show you how I stack them in groups of 3, and then from then on you're free to kind of work it the way you want. You kind of come directly to load it into the trailer, or you put it like I've done here. It's just a setup. That's not how I actually collect the bales. So here also you want to kind of align with the center of the bale in this case. And since you have a tool, you can also use, what I like to do is I kind of put, when I'm approaching, the edge of the tool with the edge of the bale, and the closer I will get, you will see there will be a distance. It has to be equal on both sides. And as for the how high it has to be, that's my side picture. Of course you find yours, and then I approach. As I approach, I have a few reference points I can use. I'm using the center, like I said, of the telehandler itself, and there you go. You go all the way through, and as you can see, there's a little distance here. It has to be more or less equal to the little distance here. As usual, once you get used to it. And then there is and let me bring the help menu. I hope it will show. There it is. Do the cursor appear here? There it is. Grab bales. What other key you have assigned here? I'm using my HOTAS, actually, the joystick of the HOTAS. Okay. You press it. I'm using the trigger for this. Then, okay, it closes and it opens. Okay, now closes, that is grab the bales, and now it opens. When you don't have any bale, you can press all the buttons you want, it won't work. So if you find yourself using this mod and you are using this feature and it's not using, that's simply because it does not have a bale kind of in the fork. So here I press it and it grabs. Let me remove that help menu. Okay, now you just lift it a little bit. Okay, you can even use the traveling mode, because we will be putting it on top of the other bale there. And you get the idea. We are going to do it 2 times so that we get a stack of 3. Same idea here, and as soon as I get close to the bale, I'm gonna lower the one on the top and use the edge of it. A few reference points here. I'm gonna use the edge of it to kind of align it with the other bale still on the ground. Here, using the edge of it. That's one. The more I lower, the better. And then second is how close I have to be to kind of put it right on top. I'm gonna use this fender here, and you always want when we will be loading on the trailer to work on the left side, so I'm using the fender as soon as it aligns more or less with the center of the bale here. And of course, if you like, I always work with bales of 240 centimeter cube, I believe it is. The size, I mean, if you work with the same size, you will kind of get the same side picture, especially if you use the same telehandler. So here, it's more or less. Now, there you are, the fender is aligned with that middle section here. I can just then... okay, of course, I did not come exactly center, so just for kind of doing it properly. But at least the on top of one another I got it right. So you just drop it. Now for example, simple, maybe you went a little bit too like this. Okay, just lift it. Maybe you went a little bit too far, you lower it. Now of course you just play with it. Now of course, if you're using a tool for the first time, either you get outside. Okay, you use the cheaty way, like I said. That says, for example, you don't have your reference point. Just for that time, you can just, okay, so that avoid wasting time. If your time is limited, you just get here, drop it, then you will have your reference point. Okay, so don't forget to open first before reversing, otherwise you will pull the one on top. And just enough to let go of the bale, lower it exactly as you would to pick a single bale, because you're picking only the one at the bottom. Go all the way through, don't kind of bump into it. Close, grab, might even want to tilt it a little bit because we will be lifting it at some distance, and then based on if you want to reverse or drive forward, we're going to be picking that other guy, third one. Of course, farming is not necessarily meant to be done alone, but if you don't have anyone to help you, one-man farms do exist in real life. So you have to come with those types of methods that will allow you to. And I'm really excited to kind of start the playthroughs so that you can see how I farm. Most of the time, one-man farming. Now without that false feedback which I disconnected, I'm a little bit disoriented, and to be honest, I did not kind of put the tool vertical. That's why it was moving a little bit like that. So once again, I kind of put it back to the position where the fork will kind of I don't know the English term for this, but it enters the bale. You want to make sure you go all the way through, don't bump into them, close, and there you go. Now I could leave. I don't even have to grab. Let me see what I'm trying to say here. I could have left them like so, okay, and then go and stack 3 others, and then 3 others there, and then 3 others there. That's one method. Another method, especially if the field is not too big, like I just did, if the field is not too big, you kind of, once you've grabbed them, There you go. You don't want to bump into them. You raise them enough, just in case there are other people working on the field, maybe in multiplayer for example. And you can go directly to the trailer to load it. Or you could also, like I did here, come and stack them close together so that if for example you did not come with your trailer, you can then go and pick the trailer. Stuff like that. Or you can have a helper drive the using auto drive, the tractor pulling the trailer. So then you just come, and once again you want to kind of put it as close to that without bumping into them. Okay, put it straight. And I still don't have that force feedback, which makes me kind of forget where the center of the steering wheel is. And here also I have a reference point here, so if I lower them there, it will be at the right distance. Reverse. We're not going to collect. Let me show it has released. You want to kind of make sure it kind of is resting on the slowly. You do it slowly, then maybe you can already lower it to your let's grab this one here, one I have already collected. Just make sure the tool is straight and the distance okay. Don't bump into it. Close. Tilt it just a little bit. Kind of lift it enough so that you can see where you're going. As you get closer, kind of make sure it's vertical. Once again, I'm using the edge of the bales themselves to kind of know how close I am, because you want to maximize the space available to you. Here also I have to get used to no force feedback. So here is more or less, and reverse. Make sure you have released the bales with the grabbers, I call them, and there you go. This is how you collect bales. I mean, at least how I collect bales. So just put the parking brakes. There you go. And I already explained, if you want to disconnect, you have to remove the lines first, and from here disconnect. There you go. So whatever method you're using, this is the one that I use, and then you can just continue loading the trailer, but it's not the purpose of this video. I already demonstrated to you how first you can stack them in groups of 3, and then you can leave them as is or put them here. I believe that putting them close to one another is more convenient when you will be actually loading the trailer. So there it is. If you find this video helpful about how to use telehandlers in first-person view, please like, and a subscription will be very much appreciated to help the channel grow, because more tips like that are going to come, and especially when we will be doing the playthroughs, the actual farming, the methods that I use, you might find it maybe an interesting way to play if you haven't been playing like that before. I thank you for watching. Like I said, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.